Alright, welcome back. So this is part two, or the second update of our series of the hydroponics. So just primarily going to be concentrating on the seed starting system here yet this week and next. So I know originally I had showed you guys this 18 hole cover. Then off camera I switched it to one of the grow out covers, which is a 6-hole cover. The reason I did this is because you don't want too much light down into the water underneath. So it helps the algae growth. So actually what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch this out. I do have a 12-hole cover. I'm going to switch to that for this week. And that's primarily just because, again, I'm going to keep these 6 plants. So I'm going to transfer these over. And then I want to start 6 new ones. And so I don't want too much light getting down in there for the next week. So these are our original 6 that we planted last week, and I've already soaked the rock wool cubes here, so we'll transfer over the 6 new ones that we need to plant. So we'll do that real quick. You'll notice I have a toothpick in one of them, and we'll get to that in just a second. So we've got that to do. The other thing that we have to do yet this week is we need to take and thin the plants down that we have already started from last week. And I had a tweezers here and I misplaced it. There it is. So I'm going to try to get you a shot here and bring you in close. So this is, if you can see there's multiple plants, lettuce plants in there from the planting of last week. So basically all I'm going to do, and this is probably rude and crude, but I've just got a tweezers, and I'm just going to take this tweezers and I'm literally going to pluck out the plants that I don't want, leaving one. So now I'm down to 1 plant. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that quickly on all of them here. Probably can't see too much of what I'm doing, but again, I'm just very quickly plucking out the plants that I don't want, thinning it down, just standard thinning, down to 1. If there's a plant that looks better than the others, leave the better looking plant, pluck out the ones that don't, the seedlings that don't look quite as well, that sort of thing. But otherwise it's mostly just a get it thinned down to 1 plant, because that's all you want growing, is just 1 plant in each of these cups. Now I'll keep an eye on these. Sometimes another plant will pop up, next week, but I'll just kind of watch as to what I've got, and thin out as needed if I have to pull another plant out or whatever I got to do there. But otherwise, this is something you don't have to pay too much attention to. I really haven't looked at these too much since last week. I think I've maybe peeked on them once or twice, and that's it. 6 plants thinned, done. So next of the weekly parts is to plant. So I'm going to plant some baby bok choy. I'm going to plant 3 of them. So I'm going to take my toothpick, and there's a hole in the middle of the rock wool cube there. Now some of the holes are not as open as others. See, that one you can't see the hole as well. So I'm just simply going to take my toothpick, open up the hole, make sure it's good so you can drop the seeds in there. So I do that first, and I'm going to dump out some seeds here in my hand, and I'm going to put like 3 or 4 in these rock wool. those didn't quite go in, so I'll just poke those in, just like that. Alright, so then I've got those. The other thing I'm going to plant this is some red lettuce. So again, I'm just going to dump some seeds out in my hand. Now these lettuce seeds are really tiny. I don't know how well you can see that, but they are small. So what I do is I take a toothpick that's damp on the end, and then I can just kind of roll it in there, and it'll just pick up a few of those seeds on the end, and then I can just stick them down in the rock wool hole and plant them. It's a much easier way of grabbing onto the seed and sticking them in. There we go. Put the rest of my seed back in the little pouch, and that's virtually it for this week. I'm going to put the light back down, and I'm going to write on my sheet, my tracking sheet, as to what I just did. And yeah, that's it for week 2, and we'll see you back for week 3. Take care.